What's up everyone? Welcome to today's video. And on today's video, we are going to talk about what happens during a showing on your home when you have it for sale on the market. So let's get into it. First thing that happens is the buying agent's going to schedule an appointment with your agent through an app here that we use in Connecticut called Showtime, and they'll be able to set up everything and it'll have all the information that other agent needs to get into the property. Now, usually that gets you a 24 to 48 hour notice. You can have longer. You have to decide that with your listing agent, and all that information is put out front, so whoever's requiring a showing can then make sure within their calendar and their buyers that it works within your time frame and your schedule, because you know, especially if you have a large family, or even if you don't, you work a lot, it's hard if you have pets and to juggle everything around. So usually give your agent a good idea of what times are available or what days are best, and then just go from there, because you will have to be out of the house for a couple hours when they're doing a walkthrough. Now the next thing that happens during a showing is they arrive. Usually they have a 15-minute window to get there. It all depends. And the other agents are usually pretty good about telling you whether or not they're going to be late or not. So anywho, they get there and they got the lock box on there. It could be an electronic box or an old school combo. They're going to come in. Now you can also leave directions here as to whether you want them to keep their shoes on or remove their shoes. And sometimes they also have those things agents can put out that go over the shoe. So that's usually what happens next. They show up and they start walking through the house. Now, this is where you kind of have to rely on the other agents. See, I love showing buyers homes that are for sale by me, that they aren't represented by anybody, because it really allows me to sell the home. And I like to sell, you know, I like to point out the good parts of a home. But some agents just walk you through and they're like, hey, it's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath. It's got a couple walls and a roof. What do you think? So that's not me. I like to really get into the property, know what I'm talking about. So, you know, if hopefully your buyer's agent that's bringing these people in have done their homework and they know what they're talking about when they get to the property, so they can answer questions. And hopefully your agent that you're working with is really kind of given the other agents, because they can do different remarks in the MLS listing, to where they can put out all the key features of the home to make sure that that other agent really focuses on those. Because the object here is, you know, we help people, but you also want to make sure you point stuff out. I hate to use the word like selling, you kind of are, but if a buyer agent has bought buyers to, let's face it, more than 3 homes, all the homes are going to start looking the same. So you want to make sure that other agent's really putting out there the best features of the home. So then what happens is they go through the walkthrough. Walkthrough's over, they lock everything up and they leave the lights on or off the way they found them, and they go on their merry way and they go probably to the next property. So during that time frame, you actually get a message, or I should say I get a message, or your agent will get a message from that other agent rating the home's showability on a scale of 1 to 10. What do they like about it? What do they dislike? Was the price fair? And they just can kind of go through that, and then they can say whether they want to have another showing or not. What usually happens if they do like the home within, you know, a day or later on that evening, depending on what time they see it, the buyer agent will call the selling agent and say, hey, my clients are interested in putting in an offer. You know, what's the best way to get it to you, just in case your information not up there, and then they'll send something in. Now, no offer, there is no offer unless it's on paper right here. Unless it's written down, there is no offer. So once that offer comes over to the selling agent's office, they'll go through it with you, whether it's via a Google chat, a Zoom, Skype, any one of those, where if they're, you know, you might be at work or you might be home and it might be later in the evening, they can share a screen with you and show you exactly what the contract has to say. And then what happens is you can say, yeah, we accept it, or no, we don't. Do your little negotiations. Now you've come to a price. Now there's going to be a second walkthrough, and that's going to be with all your inspectors and everything like that. But that's getting ahead of yourself. That's really not what's happening in a showing. Like I said, what really happens in a showing is they request it, the agent shows up with the buyer. Hopefully your agent's pointed out all the key features of that property, and then the other agent kind of has to try to sell it a little bit and make sure that client knows what they're looking at and making sure they see all the great features. and then everything gets closed up, and then the fun part starts. That's where we start getting in offers and negotiating, and then hopefully eventually, 60 days later, we're at the closing table and moving on our way. So, short video today, just kind of talking a little bit about what happens during a showing of your home, because most of the time homeowners aren't there. Usually the only time I see it is when they're more elderly or they have just been in surgery, they can't move around that much. But usually that's a really extreme situation. Usually people are able to make it available so they're not there. So pretty much what happens is, they come in, like I said, they tour the property, the other agent sells them to all the key points. They go through and check everything out, and then that's pretty much it. Hopefully your home gets sold. Thanks for checking out today's video, and as always, please like and subscribe and leave a comment down below. See ya.